Hello, welcome to another episode of Courtside Fracas. Today I'm joined by Kay. How are you, Kay?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
I'm joined by Niyi. How are you, Niyi?
I'm good, man. My team won yesterday, so it's all smiles, man.
I'm joined by Shaq. Long time, Shaq. How are you?
I'm good. I found out that I'm basically a relative of Philadelphia, so now I'm a 76ers fan, and we're top of the East.
You shameless dog.
What's up, guys?
Do you know what it is, though, Shaq? I haven't spoken to you since, I think last time I spoke to you, Miami were under 500, so you're feeling a bit better now, but how they doing?
Yeah, people doubted us. Still see Celtic down there. Still see the Knicks with that getting all this praise, but I'm from Philly. Fresh Prince, like it's cool.
Cool.
Buddy.
Okay, so we know you're a fraud. It's all right. We know you're a fraud.
That team's like 67% light skin.
Okay, and we got him beat.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm with you.
Before we get into this week's games, we'll just start with a little bit of news. So, the first bit of news we'll talk about is the fact that Kevin Durant, after 2 months out with I want to say, what injury was it? Sorry, my mate. Hamstring injury. Is back for the Nets. I think he's playing tonight, I believe. And simultaneously, James Harden is also out. I think for 10 days was the prediction. 10 days.
Yes, like that, yeah.
Also with a hamstring injury. So I just want to get you guys' thoughts on KD's injury, him coming back, what it means for the Nets, and also like Harden being injured as well. Like, will we see these three play together consistently? The big three of the Brooklyn Nets.
Nah, not until late in the season. And yeah, I don't know how that works for their rhythm, but at the end of the day, they've still got Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie. Like KD's injury, I think it was just really they're managing it as much as possible because he's fresh off the Achilles, the whole body imbalance and whatnot. Like they got to manage him as best as possible. They've already missed a year of him. They're paying him, goddamn, near 30-odd million, top 5 player in the game. And he came out firing, but at the same time, when you got to manage him, it's a long season, and they're playing a lot of games early, so they're thinking we're in a good stead. James has taken us so far with Kyrie there as well. Kyrie's actually been the one that's not injured the whole time, which is a shock. And then now Harden's out. Yeah, he's pretty robust, so I think he should only be like 10 days really back as soon as possible, and then back to normal for them, winning games.
Yeah. Their record with the three of them together. So this is me just being dumb, yeah. So humor me for a minute. So the record with the three of them all starting isn't the best, right? We've seen them go on really long runs, really good stretches of form with just Kyrie and Harden, and also like the two of them by themselves with the other one out. Is there any chance that when the three of them are all back and potentially fit and firing, that the chemistry isn't quite there yet?
No, because like KD out of all of them is the one that's actually okay to be out because he can like fit into any team in any scenario and do what he's going to do. So really, the two that have been playing together in Kyrie and Harden are probably the two that needs to be playing together to get acclimatized. And when KD comes back, he's just going to do whatever he wants to do, sort of in the flow of the game. So I think they're going to be good.
I think that's where, like, I agree with what you're saying, but I think that's where they're going to fail. In a sense of it's like what we saw for teams where if you don't spend too much time together, learning to play with each other in the playoffs might be it's too late. Fail. It's way too late. Teams will literally capsize you easy. So if KD, that's why I was gonna say I don't really care about KD returning because Harden's out.
Yeah.
I need to see all three on the court learn to gel together to believe it's gonna be done. And then and the problem that you're going to have with KD playing, who's going to be the big, who's going to be like powerful, all the spacing, everything needs to be learned in the regular season. That's why you have a regular season. So I expect a downfall somewhere in the playoffs, but I also don't see it happening.
It's a tricky one, man. I'm with Shaq because end of the day, as it stands, Harden's the primary ball handler. Like, everything revolves around him and he getting people their looks, of course. And obviously KD and Kyrie do what they want. But now, everyone else is getting their best looks because of Harden. Cool. He's out for 10 games or 10 days, whatever. Kyrie comes in, not saying he's clearly not a bad player, but he's not James Harden in the terms of the facilitator. He's not the same player in that sense. And obviously KD is gonna what he gets regardless. The issue is for the other men, you know, like the LaMarcus, the Blakes, the Joe Harris, who I saw try dunk the other day. He needs to stop because he's getting far too excited. And then, you know, the rest of the team. So yeah, it should be interesting. And then playoffs actually might be too late because it's a shortened season. It's very intense, and teams are really getting into the swing. Like we think Utah is going to drop off at some point, but they're really firing now because they've really been playing together the whole time and bailing in injuries. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, man.
I'm looking forward to it. I think there's potential for upset. I hope anyway. I hope. Okay, so moving on to the next bit of news. So Kay, you can take this one. The Lakers are planning on signing Ben Mclemore, who's currently averaging 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist, and shooting 33% from 3. So, what do you think he adds to this Lakers team, if anything?
Next question.
It's probably a bad addition, man.
Nah, you know what it is, yeah. You know what it is. We've got another shooter, yay. So when LeBron and AD comes back, we've got more floor spacing on paper. But yeah, man, he's supposed to be a sniper. He's hitting 33% right now for the season. You would hope that maybe improves in a better team, but that's all just expectations, and we'll hope it happens. And right now, we're still kind of disjointed and sliding further down the Western Conference. So yeah, there's not really anything I can really say around Ben McLemore. He don't really move the needle anywhere, and he's just there to make shots if he's open. And if he makes them, cool. And if he don't, cool, because now we stink. And I'm just really crossing my fingers and waiting for AD and LeBron to come back. And by then it might be too late. So who knows? So Ben McLemore don't really do much for me. That's just kind of a cool. Wesley Matthews don't really do much. And neither is anybody else who can really shoot like that consistently. So let's get him in and see what we can do.
Niyi, you were defending it for a second. What's
because he probably comes in and like he's probably like one of your best shooters, no? Like I can't imagine Kuzma and Schroeder line up from the 3-point line.
But on paper, yeah, Ben McLemore is supposed to be a very good shooter.
And you think about with Houston, I think he was 38% with Houston, and I would imagine he'd be getting the same sort of looks.
Yeah, he's playing 32 games, yeah, 33%, same difference.
Yeah, but that's 33% this year, like in the bad Houston team. So like, I'm gonna allow him in it.
You're gonna get like it's different. Like you're not getting no lopsided passes from John Wall. That ball is going the way you want it, and you slang.
I'm glad we're acknowledging that John Wall is dusted. I'm glad we're acknowledging that. But yeah, also that 33%, I know I'm complaining about it, but it's also a bit skewed because he's barely taking 2 a game. So yeah, we'll see what he's like in a better team. But like I say, he don't really move the needle like that. So we'll see what happens in it. And if it's good, I'll be front and center, shamelessly praising him. But until then, take a back seat and look.
What do you think about the Lakers' chances, okay?
Next question. Listen, as it stands, we're playing catch up. So the word out on the street is the fans are thinking that AD's Achilles ain't going to hold up, which fingers crossed it does. And then you've also got Bron coming back of one of the longer injuries of his career, because only injury Shaq corrects me that Bron has really had in his career that stopped him really playing games post like 2014 is his back in it. So that's and that stopped after like 2-3 years. So now is actually his ankle and a high ankle sprain as well. And we've seen LeBron roll his ankle before and come back the next day. Even Niyi Wade was saying that the guy's a machine. And so for the first time, he's actually got a long-term injury, and it's obviously his feet. So we'll see what happens. I don't think much should change for him, but at the same time, we're still waiting and expecting the world when he comes back. And that might be a little too late. But we've got more than enough. And it just depends on our matchup as well, I think.
Fair. I'd say it's a bit different with the injury of Bron, because remember he was out first year in the Lakers as well.
Yeah.
And that was probably his longest injury. And then we've seen him like roll his ankle, but this one was rolled with pressure added from a player's body as well. Like, it was bad. So give him time. But you know, the thing is, what is scary is he's probably still in the gym, and like what is actually going to be decent is they might get a terrible seed and just beat up teams. They might beat up some teams. Like, so I see it happening. Like, who's going to stop him? Paul George. So
yeah, definitely not. Like on paper, in the West, there's no team in the playoff that will have a better 2 players on the court than them 2.
Yeah,
combined. So that's the only thing we're kind of banking on. And so if we get a solid seed, I think we'll see what happens when we get to the conference finals, and we'll see what happens. But then again, it depends on the flow when LeBron gets back and how these guys are feeling. Because right now they're on a slump and they ain't really playing that well. So what are we looking at right now? Lakers were 4-6 in the last 10. It could be worse, but I expected a 1-9. So they haven't totally disappointed me. We'll take it.
Shaq, before we move on, I just wanted to ask you quickly. So on this pod, I've heard you claim Miami, Lakers, and now Philly. So which can we just confirm which one are your favorites before we move on to the next game?
Like, you got a deep, right? Is like Miami's like what I've always known. But I went to LA in 2017. Of
course.
2018. So like it's in my DNA. And then, like as I said, I watched so much Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that I'm basically.
I hear that.
So
that's a valid reason. I hear that.
It's all in there, like so. Really, truly, like Miami's where I stay, but there's so much ties that I have, so many links.
Right. Even affiliate.
The thing is though, like why all this focus on my teams though, innit? Like, move on, bro. Like,
he's watched a couple of Kevin Hart stand-ups. Now he's a Philly fan.
But I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like, I'm also like 1/8 Cameroonian, so Embiid, like it's.
I know we didn't do the Andres interest. Instead of 23, he's doing 32 and I. Now yeah, I'm definitely Cameroonian.
Oh dear. Okay. Now that we've cleared that up, so moving on. So the Nets beat the Knicks a couple of days ago in a tight game, 114 to 112. Niyi, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on the game for a start? And secondly, what were your thoughts on Kyrie's performance?
All right. I'm gonna start with Kyrie in it because he was obviously totally in his bag. Like, he was moving absolutely crazy. Like Randall was playing good defense on him a few possessions, and he was just like making him look like he wasn't even there. And like his ability to make tough shots and then like make it look good at the same time is just ridiculous. And like he plays like there's no one else there. It's like he's in his own zone. He's just like he's definitely he's a special guy, and he's having like a career year this year in terms of his percentages as well. So it's actually been a really good year from Kyrie. And if he had played maybe a few more games, they'll be talking about him maybe in the MVP discussions along with Harden. So I think it's been a great year for Kyrie, to be honest. And the game against the Knicks, it was a pretty good game. It was pretty tight and tightly contested. I remember I was talking to you at the beginning of the year, and I was like mocking RJ Barrett. But you know what? I don't think I've apologized to you yet because he's actually been a lot better this year.
He's not that bad.
He's not that bad. Yeah. I was being a bit deep.
Is he a first pick?
Huh?
Is he worth a first pick?
He's not good.
Hey, he wasn't the first pick, was he?
No, he's not a third. He's not a number 3 pick.
Like, he was looking for it. Is he worth it though?
He's not a number 3 pick. No.
Nah, he's not. No.
I don't think he's top 5. Like, I don't. He might be
in that draft after him. Who went after him? I'm trying to think.
I can check for you right now if you want.
Yeah, check. Yeah. I don't know if he's a lottery
right now.
Like,
I'm gonna check for you right now. What happened in his draft?
He kind of bricks a lot. Like,
he's just very awkward. I find him very awkward.
Yeah, he is kind of awkward. But it's the Knicks, man. It's been a long time since I had something nice in it. So,
and it's not him. It's Julius Randle.
Yeah,
he's not the nicest in that team, bro. And it definitely ain't RJ Toppin. God damn it! Wow, sheesh.
Obi Toppin.
So what? We've got Zion and Jawa 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we got DeAndre Hunter after Garland, Culver, Kobe White. Yeah, Hashimura, Reddish.
It's not that. Yeah,
Tyler Hero is better than RJ Barrett.
Okay.
Gang. Hero and Garland.
Yes.
Easy.
There's no one was in the NBA finals, one was at home watching him in the NBA finals. It's really quite simple. And one was contributing in the NBA finals.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Can I just say, like, going off what Niyi said, yeah? Because you see this Kyrie guy, right? I've been going at it for years trying to tell people he's different. Kanyin, yeah, shake your heads because
I'm coming to you. I'm coming. You have your first. Keep going.
What he also showed people how to do, like aka some Westbrook fans, is how to shoot 28 shots and keep it efficient. Know your shot and pull it off. Like, he is phenomenal this year. People need to put respect on Kyrie's name. And if I'm honest, as a point guard in the league this year, I don't know who's playing point better than him. Or even though, I mean, he's not primary ball handler, but I don't know a guard or maybe two guards that are playing better than him right now this year. Like, I'm gonna put it out there. Dame's cute. That's all right. Yeah, shoot. Whatever.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that. Don't do that.
It's Kyrie in Space Jam though.
Tap my wrist, Dame. Like, cool, but you ain't coming out the Sage Master. Like, he's cold.
The Sage Master. Oh my god.
You don't need to put respect on his name.
You see what was gonna happen? Yeah, I was about to admit my former wrongs in the past and tell you how great Kyrie is. I actually really like watching him. What I don't like, however, is stands. Similar to how a good friend of ours, Shaq, is a serious Steph Curry stan, so we provide balance. You know what I mean? But Kyrie, but not in this case though. Kyrie, yeah, he's like you said, he's playing serious. Like, I can't really knock it. And the media narrative around him, obviously, we all know it stinks because obviously he missed a few games for like some birthday shindig and like some personal stuff. But in reality, like he said, this is just the job. And he's putting up 29, 4.9, and 5.2 assists a game, shooting basically 50, 40, 90. He just needs to go shoot pretty well from three in the next game. We'll be shooting 50, 40, 90, and like a 25 PER. And this is supposed to be the third option on this so-called big team. Like, I actually can't knock him at all. Like, I love watching him. Sometimes I get kind of jarred because he takes incredibly difficult shots, then he makes them. So I'm like, So is that one of those things? Like, is what he does, and I can't really knock it. Like Shaq said, there's not really many, if not any, other than Dame, like point guards that have played better than guards that have played better than him this year. Dame and Harden, cool. Those are two guards you can say that have played better than Kyrie this year. After that, it's very tricky to really pick one. Like, please, listeners, jump in the comments. You know the vibes. Like, tell me who's been better than those three, or better than Kyrie, because I don't really see any. And obviously, Kyrie was maybe short-handed because obviously Harden won their last game, and the role players are still the role players regardless. They're not those big guys. And Kyrie's primary job ain't really to facilitate for everyone. And the Knicks are a lot better as well. So I ain't really mad. Like,
I'll give a shout out to Julius Randle because a few times, like you would say, like he was guarding Kyrie and his feet were moving. You know,
I
was saying ankles is coming, bro. This guy was still.
He didn't drop. Someone tweeted like the most impressive thing was that we know Kyrie's gonna do Kyrie, but this is Julius Randle who's 6'9" and 260 pounds, basically staying in front of him. So man, you can't really knock it. The Knicks still stink though. Like, I don't know why Taj Gibson's in the league in 2021, but we'll get back to that.
Them boys are still trash, but like, well done, Julius. Well done.
Yeah, well done, Julius. But yeah,
actually, I think I want to ask you a question.
Go on.
I was going to ask you, so like, I mean, the game against the Nets, you guys actually moved the ball pretty quickly, and you got quite a few buckets in transition, which is a bit different from like the way you usually play because you're a pretty slow-paced team. Is this something that you're going to be doing, like moving forwards, or just like a one-off sort of thing?
I think it's a one-off because, like you say, I don't think that's not the way we've been playing all season. So I don't think it's something that I would like to see going forward, definitely, especially just mainly for entertainment purposes. I find it more exciting to watch that sort of basketball. But it's not something that I expect to see going forward. I feel like when we play the Nets, everybody tries to up their game kind of thing. Does that make sense? So it's kind of the style's kind of different. Like, I feel like the last two games I've watched against the Nets have actually been quite entertaining compared to some of the other games which have been like a proper grind. And it's been like very tough to watch at times. So yeah, I mean, if that's the way that they want it, that Tibbs wants to do it going forward, I'm all for it. To be honest with you. Yeah.
So in other words, you guys are going to lose in 7 games. All right, cool.
Yes. What do you mean in 7? Do you mean I'll take it to 7. 7 games is
nice first round exit.
If we can take the Nets to 7 games, I'll be well happy with that. But I don't expect much, to be honest with you. In the playoffs or anything like that. One thing I did want to ask, whilst we're still on the topic of Kyrie, I saw a little graphic on Twitter. I can't remember which account it was, but basically it was just one of those ones that asks, what would this player be like if he had this attribute and stuff like that. So what I wanted to ask you guys basically is, who do you think would be the better player? Russ, if he could make shots like Steph Curry, or Kyrie if he could play defense, like elite defense?
Kyrie.
Oh, okay. We got differing opinions. Well. Let's talk about it.
Russ.
Why Russ? Go ahead.
And everyone is obviously well explained how I'm a Russ stan. Obviously, I've also put the word out a few pods ago that we back up because we don't expect nothing from the Wizards, but Russ fans we still back up. Don't worry about that. But yeah, man, obviously Russ can already play defense. Obviously, we never really see it because he can just choose it. Very well. It's not much worse than Kyrie playing defense. Let's not do that.
Did you mean could play defense like in high school and college?
You said that if he could shoot, I'm taking them at their best. Yeah. And if Russ can shoot, yeah, but if they're Prime Curry's not chatting to Russ, man. Sorry, it's not the same. It's just not the same, man.
Hey, wait, did you say Prime Curry's not chatting to Russ?
It's Prime Curry.
Oh, okay.
Curry. Oh, I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Curry. These are Curry in the brain all the time.
I was about to say.
I'm not mad.
I'm gonna tell you this for free, right? Russ could be able to shoot like Steph, and I guarantee he will still find a way to brick it. I promise you. I promise you that ball is still gonna go goodum, bro. Like it's not happening. Give me time.
Sometimes just put the ball in the basket, man. Why do you have to break dance every time you want to take a 2-pointer, man?
You want to know why? I'm then gonna twist off the backboard with my left, with my right, up and under, and then I'm gonna do a shimmy backwards, and then I get.
Is it a high school dance or a basketball game? Man? Come on,
I made the NBA look like high school. I made the NBA look like high school. Meanwhile, man's dunking whilst he's down 20 and beating his chest. Oh, get out of here, man. Next topic, man. Get this guy out of here, bro.
This is why I can't support the same guy.
To be honest, yeah. I mean, like, I guess Russ can have Curry shooting and he'd be almost unstoppable, but then he'll still have his shot selection. So that kind of negates all the positivity that he gets when Curry shooting. So I think I'm going to go with Kyrie, innit?
Fair enough.
Curry at his best. Can't chat to MVP Russ, but we'll get to that later. My next topic, Obi, you know.
Yeah, it's not true, but okay.
That's fine.
It's quite clearly true.
Someone didn't choke
I've never seen Kyrie have a season as good as Russ's MVP season, but it's cool.
I've never seen Russ choke. I've never seen Kyrie choke a 3-1 lead. But it's cool.
Oh, you're saying Curry? Sorry, man. I thought you were saying that Curry again. My bad. I was right.
Yeah, Curry, I'm talking about Curry. We know what Curry is, man. Curry's second point guard of all time, man. Don't let the stand that.
Yeah, Russ still choked in 3-1 leads, though, no?
KD was in that same team. He choked too.
Yeah, I know. Facts. He still won one afterwards, though. But safe.
Yeah, with that same damn team he choked to. Yeah, whatever, man.
I ain't see Ricky.
Okay. Let's wrap this up. Moving on.
One time we're talking about Ricky. You make me sick. You make me sick, honestly. God damn it.
Let's move on. Okay. So the next game we're going to talk about is the 76ers beating the Celtics 106-96. It's probably not much of a surprise to anybody here. So Embiid came back, made his return. I think he scored 35 points. So Shaq, what were your thoughts on this game and Embiid's return and what it means for the 76ers going forward in the playoffs?
Yeah, so we Philadelphians, the game was actually a really good game, but I'm telling you, there was a parts of the game, like once it ended, I actually started looking at therapy for Yas.
Horrible parts of that game.
Like Yas actually might need it watching this team because sports ain't doing well for him right now. Jaylen Brown plus minus was minus 22.
His defense was trash.
His defense was so poor. Jason Tatum was trying. I'll give him that, but I think he was saying like 3 or 4. No, that was. I think Jason Tatum was like 3 or 10 from 3-pointers. Like it was like there's trying and there's forcing. And Boston, what I think looks like right now is when they're trying, they just try to force it to them too. And like, yeah, I mean, I think the whole team has lost trust in Kemba Walker. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. But yeah, but that's Celtics. But you see this pod, yeah, Kanyin and Harold put respect on Danny Green, bro. 5 or 6.
Yeah, I'm fuming. Listen, yeah, hear me out. Danny Green guy, yeah. I'm looking for him because I was watching that game and he was. They were saying onions when this guy was shooting because eyes were really watering. You got a hand up, you could be on his back. He was still draining them. They were saying you can't give Danny Green a walk on 3, brother. We gave him so many last year. I need to fix all of them. I can't.
No.
I'm not going to talk about it because
Like, we know that Embiid stole the show. But the team actually put up a good rapport. Like, Seth was a bit underwhelming for me. I thought he would do quite well in that game. But like, Tobias done his thing. He still tried to get his bucket when he needed to. Embiid is just... You know what, yeah? It's got to the point where I actually think on form, Embiid is probably the most unstoppable person. He's fake. Like, he don't make sense.
He's fake. He's
very good. He's missing his shot and then catching a rebound with 2 fingers. Like, he's stupid. So
this is why I don't want to hear about no Jokic. Yeah.
But don't do that. But then the game...
Another discussion. Don't do this.
Don't do that. But the game was actually good. Like, it was a good watch. It was just very ugly basketball from Celtics near the end and in their little patches, but it was good to see Embiid light him up. But the only thing I would say is people in Boston don't really have size and weight like that to kind of stop him. So if he's going against a better center, can he do that same performance? We'll see. Like, put him against Bam and
do the same.
Well, I don't know. Well,
he's definitely going to dominate Bam, bro. Sorry.
But yeah, that's my take on the game. Basically, Boston, blow it up.
Blow the whole,
the whole,
load the whole thing up and blow it up.
Pearl Harbor, all of it, like everyone.
Let's not make joke of war crimes, but yeah, blow that whole thing up.
Blow it up, bro. Like, you need to get rid of it because it's not working at all. Even Brad might have to go. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
you know what? I'm with it.
Just saying, no one speaks about Brad enough. Like,
and what about him being overrated?
Little bit overrated. I was hearing about sideline calls and whatnot because Isaiah Thomas.
From most people. Well, your coach is Tom Thibodeau.
I'm just asking. Hey, I'm just asking.
The reason we have Derek Ross doing part-time minutes off the bench is Tom Thibodeau. So I don't want to hear nothing about you criticizing coaches, yeah?
I respect that one, Kanyin. Still, I can't lie to you.
Tom Thibodeau. Jesus Christ. I know them guys don't sleep. But yeah, following on from Shaq's story, it was an ugly game at points. Embiid doing Embiid things. One of the commentators was saying, albeit I was watching a Celtic stream of the game, could Embiid still win MVP? And he was a bit too quick to say no, but probably not. Yeah, it's quite true because he's missed, I think, 18 games. Yeah, and unless
he was 18.
Yeah, unless Jokic misses a significant amount of time, and now Harden's missing games, and they were saying like they're not going to give it to Giannis either because they're trying not to give it to someone 3 years in a row. Like they just know that's the vibe of these journalists. So that's it. So it was a weird game to watch. Like, I didn't realize the Celtics could fall off so much in a year. Like, it's actually quite horrible to watch. Kemba Walker Shaq said enough about Kemba Walker. He's just not good at basketball anymore. And he's undersized.
I've never seen someone trip off the dribble so many times.
Oh my god! Tackle 4 tried to set him a screen. Screen got there eventually. He didn't use the screen and still fell over.
There was a point where he hesitated himself.
Yeah, I'm telling you, cardiac Kemba has killed himself. He stopped his own heartbeat.
Yeah, so he's bad, man.
He's a mess. And then they're now relying on Jason Tatum and Brown to get theirs. But in reality, for them to get the best out of both of them, we need a solid guard who put them in the right spots. Obviously, they're both great players, but that's not Marcus Smart's job. Marcus Smart will knock down a corner 3, play some dope defense, and really G the guys up on a positive vibe. You need to set the ball up well. You know what I mean? And Kemba Walker just isn't that. He's an undersized guard who you can't hide on defense, and he's not the most efficient guard either. So that's not going to be very good. And considering this was probably the game to light up his matchup, which was Seth Curry, just didn't happen. And obviously, there's Ben Simmons on the other side. You see Ben Simmons, I know in the courtside top 10 or top 25 players, he was around like the top 10. I have to retract that one personally because I'm not really sure what he's really about. Because 4 years in, he still can't shoot. I'm not saying he has to be a sniper like all big men, but he's also not a guard. Because he's 10.
You got to be able to try. At least
get a few more moves. You know. Nice little meaty step back. I'm not asking for a lot, you know. Just put the ball in the basket from like 15 feet max if you need to. Like, people can't start guarding you from the what's it called? The restricted area. Like that's just not going to work, especially when Embiid is there. So yeah, for the Sixers to do like any better in the playoffs, like Embiid's going to have to go Super Saiyan Hakeem because this team is nice, but Tobias Harris was forcing it. Danny Green, no, just no. I'm not going to rely on him. This game don't mean nothing. When the time came to rely on him, yeah, I was there. I was outside, and he didn't give me anything. So enough about that guy. And yeah, the Sixers are a good team, and they were 9-9 without Embiid, and I think they're 25-7 or whatever it is with him. So you can clearly tell the difference. Like he's a massive part of their team. And I think when it comes to the playoffs, I think teams are probably a bit better constructed towards the end, and they're going to have to expect a lot from Embiid and pray he don't get injured because Ben Simmons, no.
Niyi, can I ask you a couple of quick questions before
Yeah.
we move on? So first question, what do you think is the better scenario? Leaving Ben Simmons wide open from 3 or leaving Draymond Green wide open from 3?
Ben Simmons, because he's not going to shoot though, is he?
Okay.
True.
But Draymond's not going to shoot either.
This is
I mean, you say that, but he's been making a couple recently, you know.
No, but the thing is, Ben Simmons won't
He's a
shoot.
snapper again.
Draymond shouldn't shoot. Like we
Draymond
don't.
shouldn't shoot. Draymond might shoot and hit a bystander outside the stadium. Ben Simmons just don't shoot. So yeah,
Interesting.
Do you know what?
Okay.
Yeah, I want to speak about the Celtics a bit, yeah. And like on what they're doing yesterday, and you guys talking about Brad Stevens. And like, you know how last week we were talking about the Denver game, and we're saying they played really quickly in transition and increased their pace to like take out a good Sixers defense, like from their set. The Celtics didn't do that at all. I mean, like, they played so slow, like it's almost like Knicks-ish, and like there were so many shots that within like the last 2-3 seconds of the shot clock, it was just nasty to watch, man. Like the ball movement is horrible, and like it was too easy for the Sixers to win that game yesterday. Like I was watching them, and like I don't think they even got out of that second gear. And you look at Embiid, he basically like fouled out the whole center rotation. I was looking at the Celtics Twitter a couple of days before, and they were pretty excited for the matchup between Time Lord and Embiid, and my guy gets fouled out.
Yeah, 14
2 quick fouls in like the first like 4 minutes, and Brady plays the game. So yeah, that was a total mismatch, man.
I did want to ask you quickly before you continue. I just want to ask. Obviously, we have on our YouTube at Courtside Fracas, we have Courtside Focus, which one of them now focuses on Time Lord Rob Williams. Does anyone have any stocks in Rob Williams? Out of curiosity.
I mean, he's a good player, but I mean, I just think Embiid is he's too skilled and too crafty, and like he played like a rookie that was too excited for the matchup. So like I see that in James Wiseman, in that he hasn't really got like the tactical now, so like the understanding of the game totally there to just be a bit more tempered. And like he picked up something like sloppy fouls basically that he didn't really need to. So it's just kind of like the rookie mistakes in it that you're going to get with centers. They take a bit longer to develop. So it is what it is, isn't it?
Also, I'll bring some stats just so Yas will be proud of me, you know, about the six, like you said about the Sixers defense, that you probably need to speed them up a bit to be a bit more effective. And if they were, I found out as well, like currently in the league, they're second in defensive rating, first in blocks, third in opponent effective field goal percentage. So that's what they're allowing. Their opponent mid-range field goal percentage, they're first, and their opponent corner 3-point percentage, they're second. So they're clearly doing a good job all around, and then Beats come back. So it's good to see a strong defensive team. But
And
yeah,
but Boston also contributed to all them rankings that they're in because they were getting smoked.
They were smoking that Celtic pack.
Like
that real Boston pack.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, we can talk now about the Mavs beating the Jazz 111-103. The Mavs are now on a Shaq's rolling his eyes. The Mavs are now on a 5-game win streak. Kay, I'll come to you first. Firstly, what did you think of the game first? And secondly, do you think there's potential for the Mavs to push higher up in the standings and push the Lakers further down?
No. Actually, yeah, they'll push. They'll probably push higher. They're what? How many games behind the Lakers?
Seventh, I think. 2 games. I think they're 2 games behind.
Yeah, they're 2 games behind the Lakers, so they better probably Bron AD.
No, that's a lot. 4 games, I think.
Yeah, so they play well. Like I can't really knock them. Like Luka's really hitting his stride. I was reading that he's making 40% of his threes on every game right now, and I've notoriously called Luka a brick even though he's a fantastic player. And the stats do actually show me he is still a brick, but he's been playing well as of late. And earlier in the season, we were saying there ain't much around Luka that could really mean they could be successful this season, even though blah, blah, blah. But now they're 8th and pushing up. They're 28 and 21. People are talking like, oof, well, maybe they can do a little something. So what I'd like to see is some consistency. That's what I'd like to see. And I think, yeah, I don't enjoy watching either team personally. And yeah, I don't really have much to say about the game personally because I didn't actually turn it off. I wasn't enjoying watching it. So it's just not for me. Like, no, I'm really trying hard to like give you some real critical analysis about the game, but no, I don't enjoy watching the Jazz either because their two best players are Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. So I don't want to use this time to really slander them because they're still more or less top of the West. And yeah, I don't think this game really tells us much about this season, to be honest, even with their 5-game win streak. Like, they're still not that strong. And they're going to have to rely on Luka just going Super Saiyan in the playoffs and really giving stuff away for free. Because what? They pushed when they got wiped by the Clippers last year, everyone was talking about the shot. This team still weren't that good. And so, yeah, man, I don't really have much to say around that. So I'll pass that on to Niyi because he was wanting to talk about that.
I think I'm actually going to give the Mavs way more credit than Kanyon's giving them. Because pre-season, they traded Seth Curry and they brought in Josh Richardson. And the whole idea behind that was to improve their defense. And we weren't really seeing much of that to begin this, when the season started, essentially. But you could say that's because of COVID. Players were in and out. Luka didn't really come back that fit. KP wasn't there, even though he's been bad on defense this year. But in the last 15 games, they've been 3rd in defensive rating. So we've definitely been starting to see what they were working towards. And they're starting to build a good defensive set. And I'm just on them in the recent games they've played. They've looked a lot better. And I really like the role that Jalen Brunson's played off the bench. He's basically a starter anyway. He plays 30 minutes a game, but he's been giving them 15 points off the bench, and he's been really good at point guard. And what he's able to do is run the plays and have Luka off ball a bit. And he's really good at getting to the rim. I think he's finishing at 70% of the rim, which is ridiculous. And he's really good at picking at the ball as well. And what Dallas have is a lot of shooters as well. And that was kind of the reason why they won that game against Utah, because Gobert was matched up. Well, he wasn't really guarding. What's his face again? I've forgotten his name.
Maxi Kleber.
Who? No, wasn't even Maxi Kleber. He was getting switched off. Wasn't even Powell either.
Melly?
I don't know if I'm getting his name. Nope. That's it. Finney Smith.
Oh, okay.
Finney Smith, yeah. And he started hitting the threes. I think he went 7 of 8 in the game. He got a career high. Well, actually, no, not a career high, season high this year. And that was matched up against Gobert because he just wasn't coming out to perimeter to come and guard him. So I liked what Dallas did with that matchup, and they worked Utah pretty well. And Utah on the other end, they just couldn't hit any shots. And I was pretty big on them to begin the season, and I still am, to be fair. But I was looking to see what they would do when they started missing shots, and they didn't really change their game plan too much to try and get back into the game, and that kind of disappointed me. So it's kind of made me take a step back on them, maybe, because if they don't have a second method of playing, and if they don't start getting to the rim more, then it's going to become an issue in the playoffs.
This is
and
my
you have
stance.
people, huh?
That's my stance. You can't rely on that team when their second best player is Kristaps Porzingis.
Thank you. Oh, I was going to say it.
No.
You can't
Wait,
say that.
Let
You can't say
Porzingis
that because you're
breathe.
salty. You can say that because you're salty. But honestly, watching them, last year, one of the most potent offenses of all time, they're a false image. And Luka is playing fantastic. I can't even knock him. It's really hard. It would just be me hating. But just like you said, the way the team is constructed, I don't really see what they're going to really do later in the postseason, especially when there's less possessions per game. The game slows down. And even though, like you said, recently their defense rating's gone up and they're actually doing quite well the last 10 games or so, their primary, their biggest man on the court was Kristaps. You can't trust him. I'm sorry, you can't.
Question: do you guys know that the Mavs won that game Because it's bare hate on the Mavs and no
I
one's
was talking about the Jazz, by the way. Their setup, by the way. I was talking about the Mavs. I was talking about the Jazz.
I'm like Kanyin and that. Like, why are we getting onto the Mavericks? Like,
Yeah, I was talking about the Jazz, you know.
They watching, bro.
So everything you just said applies to the Mavs, by the way. I mean, the Mavs, the Jazz. You got me frazzled, man.
No, the Jazz are legit. The Jazz are legit. It's not
The Jazz are legit, man.
No. We can't say the Jazz are legit. Donovan Mitchell shot 6 of 23, and I'm annoyed. He was so bad that he made Gobert look good. No. Like,
that's legit, you know. But did I not message in the group? Is he not a hard watch? He is a hard watch.
My hay fever slapped me that night, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Yeah, like the team was relying on Conley from the get-go. And to be fair, Conley actually balled out. I'll give him that.
Point guard. He still does his thing, and he's a solid point guard.
And they didn't give him the ball the whole game. And towards the end, he had people like Clarkson just throwing up bricks and throwing up crazy shots. I've never seen in my life. I've never seen a bench player in my life have a green light like him. He just shoots whenever he wants. He's taking the piss.
But he's been playing well though. That's been warranted.
No, it's not one game. He's been like a shooting stump for like the last month.
Yeah, it was a bad month for him. But bro, Donovan Mitchell, whole season. Tell me what you've been doing that day before to start shooting 6 of 23. Like, it's poor. And the thing is, your team's first, so this is where teams are gonna highlight going at you more. And again, just switch on to Luka and go to the rim. Nah, let me brick this and let me brick that. Gobert getting Nah, man.
They're not a fun watch. Then the top, Yaz was saying they're top purely based on their consistency. Like, I'm not sure how much of that is true, just because obviously they didn't really play many hard teams at the start, and also they've not really been affected in terms of injuries and COVID and stuff. So, but at the same time, they've kept it up. I was saying they'd drop off a long time ago, but they're actually legit. The thing is, no one enjoys watching them. So
I do like Bogdanovic though. I do like him. He's not bad. Bojan Bogdanovic.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's one of the crafty Europeans, man.
Yeah, I like him and Mitchell. The rest of the team, I really don't like him, especially Rudy Gobert. So
yeah, I'm not a big fan either.
Because I would rather Porzingis than Rudy Gobert.
No. No.
Okay. I wanted to quickly. I'll never let it go. Don't worry, I'll never let it go. And I've got a question in a minute, but we'll talk about it in a sec. Kay, you said that you find Donovan Mitchell a hard watch. Do you want to expand what you meant by that?
I still enjoy watching him play basketball. I don't know what it is. So he's not a bad shooter. Like there was a consensus out that he was a bad shooter. He shot badly last game, but the numbers would dictate that Donovan Mitchell can actually shoot the ball. But I don't know. I think it's just a bit blocky. Like, I don't really enjoy watching him play, and also that combines with the fact that his second best player more or less is Rudy Gobert, and that's what they're kind of dealing with. Like, he's not the most efficient even from the field, but he shoots an all right percentage from three as well. So it's a fine balance. A lot of it is down to hating, and I'm very happy to admit that. But I just don't really enjoy him. I didn't approve of Shaq hating on him the way he did, because he was playing well at the start of the season, and he is a good player. Like, he's an all-star caliber player, but he's just not a cup of tea, really. That's just it. Like, it's not really a profound reason for it. I just don't enjoy watching him play.
When did I hate on Donovan Mitchell? I like Donovan Mitchell.
No, I said it. I said I was hating.
Yeah. Oh, you said you didn't approve on Shaq hating on him.
Yeah, I didn't approve of Big Shaq. Sorry.
Oh, he should kill, bro. He should kill. I'm the only Shaq.
Okay, Shaquille O'Neal. I didn't approve of him hating. There you go. But yeah, it's not really for me. Like, they're a hard watch, like a really hard watch. And even though we make fun of the NBA for what it is now, they're shooting hella threes and whatnot. How can you still be a hard watch in this era? Like, it's really hard. Like, I can't co-sign anything the Jazz do.
Hey, listen, and that 3-point shot from that team is going to fall dramatically, because I think that Mavs game was one of the first few games where they had like a decent amount of fans back. And I don't know if it's a coincidence, but then you had some of their role players like Royce O'Neal. He went 0 from 8 from 3, and that team was shooting that shit. So I don't know how sustainable their shooting is going to be in the playoffs. And that was like their main weapon and like they use their shooting to get to the rim as well. So if they're not making shots, and Donovan Mitchell's your first option, it's scary hours, man. It's peak.
It's scary hours. And the same thing I do with AD and LeBron.
Derek Favors sucks as well, bro.
Compare them to the rest of the league, the rest of the West, yeah, of like the good teams West, and you compare their best 2 players to everybody else's. Like, it's kind of sticky.
Yeah.
So you got Derek Favors coming off the bench.
Pardon?
Say again, Shaq.
You have Derek Favors coming off the bench like he sucks.
Oh my god, he's still playing basketball.
Hey, man, he's not a bad defender. He's all right.
He's top 5 pick, you know.
Yeah, he sucks.
Fair enough.
It's not for me personally.
Okay, fair enough. Before we end the pod, I just want to end it with a quick little question from myself. I know you're all gonna have a go at me, say I got an agenda, blah blah blah. But I just want to ask the question, innit? So the Mavs have played 49 games this season, yeah. Porzingis has played in 31 of them, right? Porzingis is on 30 million or 35 million or something like that.
Stupid,
do you know of a player who earns that much money who misses so much game time?
John Wall.
John Wall.
You know what?
That's perfect.
For those who don't know, for those who don't know on the streets, yeah, there was also a man who wasn't making 30 million, but he once also played for Dallas. Goes by the name of Chandler Parsons.
Yep.
Yeah. That guy robbed the league of his money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he had an accident, don't play in the league anymore. But before the accident, he actually wasn't playing in the league because he was air.
Wait, question, Obi, just to clarify. So you said they've played how many games has Dallas played?
49.
And Porzingis has played what, 31?
31, yeah.
So he's missed 18 games.
Yeah.
Like KD.
I'm just asking. Hey, God, I'm just saying. I'm just asking. One of us asking the question.
I'm just saying, like, KD makes that kind of money.
KD's got stock though, so no one cares if KD misses.
Has KD got knees?
KP hasn't got stock.
I don't think KP has anything, you know. I can't lie. You can't be 7'3" and not give me 10 balls at least. The ball bounces off your head once it hits the rim, bro. Just put your hand on your head and you'll catch the ball. You're 7'3". Come on, man. Like all the times I've watched Dallas, yeah. Do you know who's other than Luka? Do you know who's furthest from the rim? Porzingis. And I'm not even a kind of get out of back in the day. Get off my lawn, be in the paint. You 7 foot, but bro, come on,
you're
man.
7 foot.
You're 7'3". Like catch the ball, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? Leaking out to the free throw line extended. You're going headbutt the rim and catch that basketball.
It's the new generation, bro. New generation.
He's been like that from the jump, so I don't understand. He's like a 7'3" shooting guard.
You know, you got to remember though, like in his defense, his first few years, he had New York Knicks coaching stuff. He's not going to learn.
What's going on here?
He's not going to learn how to play.
It's a good point, to be fair.
Shut up, man. That's not a good point. Shut up.
That's a horrible point. But I'm with it because he was also playing on the Knicks, and we remember what the Knicks were.
So
and
we are.
No, don't say that.
So apologies. And they're currently coached by Tom Thibodeau, and they decided to take Taj Gibson from his slumber and bring him back in the league, bro. He was asleep, he was at home, you know, with Richard Jefferson, just being bold and watching TV, and you brought him back to play basketball.
Unretired of all Derek Favors. Come on, man.
17, man. 17. I'll take it. I'll take it. You know
Come on, bro.
Okay.
The sins the Knicks have done to the basketball world is enough, and Kristaps Porzingis is not really one of the big ones.
Porzingis gets too much attention for my liking. I don't like it. I like to tear him down when I can.
Bro, let it go.
Let
go.
You probably give him the most attention other than anybody else in this world. Like you give him the most.
Yeah, what? I genuinely, because I don't watch the Mavs very often. Yeah, I will look at every game they play just to see if he played or not. So
you're the only person giving Kristaps energy. You know, you keep saying, look at all of us. They give Kristaps too much credit. Nobody's giving Kristaps Porzingis.
I needed to be exposed for the fraud that he is. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, we've been knowing that's what he is, but
okay,
it doesn't need to be highlighted every day.
Okay, so with that, unless anyone has any other business, bring this pod to a close. So Kay, Niyi, Shaq, thanks for bringing on.
Thank you.
No worries, appreciate you.
Philly, what's up?
I hate you. I actually hate you. Oh my god.
Any actual Philly fans out there listening, please. You can see Shaq at Shaq Season, yeah, SZN. hit him up with any abuse, yeah, because he's a fake fan. All right. So follow us on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube at Courtside Fracas. If you want any extra content, subscribe to our Patreon for as little as £2 a month. And yeah, hit us up on any social platform with any sort of comments or reaction to any game. There's always someone on the platform who will interact with you, and we can have a nice bit of discourse about anything going on with the NBA. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Cheers for listening.
Peace.
Sweet. Peace.